So let nothing stop you from gardening. Just remember, you have to know exactly when you're planting. You can't go against nature. When it comes to gardening, most of us focus on the more classic, easier things to grow, like our peppers, tomatoes, and a few brassicas. But what if I tell you that with the ideal condition and a little trick, a little know-how, you can grow almost anything in your garden? Carrots may be considered one of those tricky plants to grow in the garden. Not a lot of people have luck with getting carrot seed to germinate, and even if they do get these carrots to germinate, not a lot of people know exactly how to care for their carrots. So today I'm going to take you in on a harvest with me and also share with you how I care for my carrots and when and how I plant them to get the best result. This is my 4th season growing carrots, and what I notice is the first thing you have to figure out with carrots is the variety of carrots that you're going to be growing. There are so many different varieties of carrots, and it can be fun growing most of them, not all of them. But no matter the variety, most carrots, they're going to take about the same time from seed to maturity, and that time period is normally about 60 to 90 days in my experience. You can leave them for longer in ground if you want them to get bigger and even more flavor, and if you're really looking for flavor, try to harvest your carrots in a cool time. So if you're in the tropics or subtropic and you're looking to harvest your carrots in the winter time or maybe even in late spring, go for your cooler days, those cooler periods, to harvest your carrots. They will be bursting with more flavor at that time. Let's go in these beds and see what we have in them. This bed right here, it's a mixed bed. It has Danvers and I don't remember the name of the next one. This is what we're looking like. So this is 3 so far, and we should have a lot. I'm also going to do a comparison. These are some tiny ones because this bed wasn't thinned properly, but I'm also going to do a comparison with the carrots that I transplanted and see how they performed. So this is what we're getting from this bed, and these are clustered, very clustered. We're still getting some nice ones. More here. So they are clustered in this tight bed, and I'm still getting nice sized carrots. I have some tiny ones here that I'm going to show you guys also. These maybe I can use them to make juice, but owing to the fact that this bed wasn't thinned out properly and I'm still getting these carrots, it's a win for me. These Danvers carrots, they grow to about 7 inches, so they're perfect for container gardening and people with small space. I'm not sure this one is which one, but it was 2 sets in there, so maybe this is one of the Danvers. So let's go and see if we find more of those or more looking like that one, and then we can see what our harvest is all about. Even though I'm getting a few small ones, those can make juice and these can go for cooking, preparing a meal. So they're not looking bad. And we have some over here also. That's on the shorter side, but they're thick, so still foody. So I'm gonna show you guys what I got from that first bed, and these are some tiny beds, so I'm just gonna clip them up, cut the tops off, show you guys what I got from that bed, and then I'm gonna go back and harvest the next 2 beds And these are the carrots that I'm getting. Soon as I'm done, I'll just take you guys in a bit closer and show you exactly what's happening. But I'm getting some mighty ones also, so they're not bad. I think I could have went ahead in the early stage and thinned these carrots a bit more, but with harvests like these, or with harvests like this, why would you thin them even more for the house purpose? This is a lot of carrot from one tiny bed. So carrots are not hard to grow. This is my fourth season, and every season I've had success with them. I planted carrots when I was much younger, a child, but then it wasn't anything like this. We would just sprinkle the seeds and what came just came, you know. We just go and harvest them and that would be it. So it was just for fun growing up doing that. But this is a whole lot of carrot. I'm getting a ton of carrot from just that one single bed, and I have 2 more beds to harvest carrots from. When I'm done this right here, I'm just going to show you guys what the beds look like, the size of these beds. They're just some tiny beds, and this is what I'm getting from a single bed. In cooler climates, it's much more easier to grow carrots, but if you're in the tropics or the subtropic, you have to time them properly. So don't just go out there putting seeds in ground and expecting great result when you're not working with according with the season. The timing is everything in gardening or in farming. So we don't call the shots on these things unless you're growing them in a greenhouse where you control the conditions. Other than that, if you're going to be growing your plants, your carrots outdoor, respect nature. I'm going to give these leaves to the rabbits. So that they can have a grand time with it. So this right here is from a single bed. I'm going to show you guys what the beds look like now, and then I'm going to harvest the second bed. This is what the beds look like. They're about 3 feet long and 2 feet wide. So there are some miniature beds, and you can see that harvest that I got from this single bed. I'm now moving on to that bed over there, and it's the same size bed. So let's go on that side and see what we can get from that bed. That last bed that we just harvested from, those were the Danvers. These over here, these are called the Manpukuji. Let's see what we get from this set of carrots over on this side. So these are some long carrots, and we're gonna take everything from this bed also because we need the bed for the spring months. The spacing of these carrots, maybe that was my downfall, but I'm still getting some giants from this bed. But I could have allowed these carrots some more space. But for what it is and the size of the family, this is more than enough carrots. Even if we're going to store carrots for a long period, this would be more than enough till our next grow season. So these are what we're getting. Slim, but they're long. They're on the longer side. Some beautiful carrots here. And I'm also going to show you guys the results for the ones that I transplanted. I told you guys when I was doing it that I would give you my honest opinion whether the transplant carrots will come better than the ones that were directly sowed. And these were the direct sowed carrots, and they are looking good. So I'm quite pleased with these carrots. and I'm getting more than I expected. I've been harvesting carrots for over 2 weeks now. When we got that cold snap, I got a few of these carrots. This one broke off, but I'm gonna get it. I got a few of these carrots and I made some soup, which I did share with you guys on a post. But this is looking good, guys. This variety, this is a different variety of carrot. This is the Manpukuji, and these are much bigger carrots. This is what they're looking like, way much bigger. So let nothing stop you from gardening. Just remember, you have to know exactly when you're planting. You can't go against nature unless you have those ideal conditions indoor, in a control room or something like that, where you can do whatever you want to do. But if you're going to go outdoors and try to get results like these, please respect nature. For gardeners in cooler climates, they can plant carrots almost 10 months, 9 months out of the year. For us in the tropics and subtropics, we have to be careful of what we're doing so that we just don't waste our time. And with the information on the internet these days, it's kind of tricky at times also, because you have gardeners telling tropical and subtropical gardeners that they can sow carrots in February in a tropical or subtropical area. Most time you're not going to get these results, and you're going to work twice or 3 times as hard to get these results. When you have time of the year when you can plant these things, set them and forget them, and this is what you'll be getting. It's been a few weeks now since I've been harvesting carrots, preparing meals and things like that with them, and I could have left these carrots in ground for maybe another month because the time is still cool. We're still in our late winter, early spring season, but it's more like a spring feel here in Florida. So you have days when we're up in the 80s and you have days when we're down in the 40s. It fluctuates a lot, so because of that, it can be tricky growing here. With harvesting these carrots and cleaning them up, remember guys, I didn't use any type of chemical on them or any type of synthetic fertilizer, just rabbit manure. However, I'm aware that not everyone has access to rabbit manure, so use what you have when you're planting. We all have to start somewhere, and if you want to start with synthetic fertilizer, or you want to go to the store and get some so-called organic fertilizer, feel free. Just start doing something, and by starting you will grow. You will move on to different things and start doing things better over time. Let's move on to our third and final bed and see what we can get here. I think these are some different carrots here. These are some purple carrots, and they are looking good also, so it's not bad. My only downfall this season, I didn't thin these carrots enough, so that causes them not to mature properly and for you to get those carrots with those weird shapes. Other than that, if you just want a meal, you're good to go with these carrots. See, we have some of them. This is what I'm talking about, twisted, so they are twisting around each other. They don't have enough space, and we're getting some splitting in this one, so that may be caused by overwatering or high nitrogen. But these are looking good. I love the color. Maybe they'll make a beautiful juice. For next season, maybe I can go and thin them some more, but with result like this, I don't think I really need to thin these carrots, because these beds, they are doing their job and I'm getting a full harvest anyways. Here we are with the second set, and I'm just gonna incorporate them, and then I'm gonna wash everything and we can go over to the table over there. This one, something started eating it and it was overwatered, so maybe it's worms. This result that you guys see here, it's no magic. This could be done on a balcony. With those raised beds, if you have a bucket that deep and even 2 feet wide, 2 by 2, you can get this type of result on a balcony. So you don't have to go outdoors to get these results if you're going to grow carrots, if you're going to grow most things. So before we jump for joy and start calling out success, let's look at the ones that we transplanted. So these are the ones that we took out of the bed when we were doing that thinning process. And this is what they're looking like. Don't just want to go with 2. I want to go with more than that, just for you guys to see the difference. So transplanting carrots just don't work out. You have to start them from seed and then allow them. Even this one that I thought I would get something from, nothing. So this is definitely a waste of time, transplanting your carrots. To be totally fair and square, these are the transplant. They didn't even form properly. And for those who don't know what I mean when I say transplant, these were the ones after I sowed the seeds and was about to thin out the beds, I just replanted these suckers. So these are suckers from the same batch as these that I planted in a different bed. These weren't disturbed, so these are just the original ones. And if you notice, even the tiny ones, let me go for a very tiny one, even the tiny ones, they were formed properly. The transplant, they were all over the place like this, and I know no gardener want to see this. So it's best not to transplant. If you're gonna thin out, just do away with those that you take from the bed. I did have a bed that I was overwatering, and then I had something eating on these carrots. I'm not sure if it's worm. A lot of earthworms were in those beds, so I'm not sure if it was earthworms eating on these carrots. But I also got some very huge one. These are the Manpukuji. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it properly, but I hope so. And these are the Danvers. So this is the difference, and that's the size difference with them. I'm going to go ahead and taste one of these purple one, but I'm going to scrape it because I'm not going to eat dirt and filth to prove anything or to be so wholly organic. I'm going to clean this up before I put it in my mouth. Same taste, same flavor as the Danvers, but just different color. These are all sweet, by the way. Very crunchy, guys. And when I say I'm going to scrape it, because I don't want to eat dirt or anything else, guys, don't feel offended. We're Caribbean and we take pride in our food, so it's just a part of our culture. So this was a good harvest, a great harvest I should say, and I'll be doing this again in the fall. So if you want to come along with me, please stick around and I'll share what I'm doing come fall, read these crops again. But for now, it's definitely not carrot time in Florida. You'll have carrots now about to be harvested or maybe midway. But for you to go sowing carrot seeds now at the end of what, February or the middle of February we're at, it's a no-no. You're making a grave mistake if you're in a tropical or subtropical climate, it's going to be very difficult for you. And if you're a first time grower, it's going to demoralize you. So just hold back on those seeds, wait out with your carrots, and you can go ahead in the fall months. I'll definitely give you an update on when to start sowing those seeds, or when I'm going to start sowing those seeds. Normally, my videos, they are not far off. If I post a video, most time that video is within the same week when I'm doing whatever I'm posting. It can be frustrating when you go on the internet and you see someone telling you to plant something in January, and when you look at what they have, it look like about 3 or 4 months old. So they went ahead way before, planted those things, and then for content creation or entertainment purposes, they're coming to tell you that you should plant that in January when their crop is already way ahead. I think it's kind of unfair and misleading. And the next thing I want to say about these carrots, they are all rabbit manure grown. Rabbit manure, as I said before, it is slow, but it is effective. You have to give it time. So don't just start pouring down rabbit manure and expect to get great result in your first season. Ensure that it is fully incorporated into the soil and start breaking down. So it's going to take maybe 4 to 6 months before you start seeing some great result. And once that is in your soil, it stays in your soil for years. So it's just a good one. I can't say enough about rabbit manure. I just can't say enough. These are the results that I'm getting, and I just have to be sharing it with you guys. You don't need a whole lot of space to plant stuff. You just need some small area with the correct soil and the ideal conditions must be ideal or close to ideal for you to get results. So you wouldn't be going in the middle of summer in Florida and planting carrots. It's just not ideal. So hope you got something from this. That's going to be it from Country Morrow. God bless you all. See you in the next one. Happy gardening and cheers.